Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, enemies and friends, welcome to the show that never ends. You are tuned into On the Reel, and we are back to keep you up to date in the latest in the world of TV and movies. Joining me today is my brother from another mother, Mr. K. Asante. How are you doing, sir?
I am great, good sir. It's good to be back. Good to have you back.
And don't think I didn't notice that background you got there, but we'll talk about that. We'll
hey
have
man,
some slander
TK
for that
Cole's
later.
in here, backing me up. Let's do this. We're here.
And I see that you need backup. And my brother from the same mother, Mr. Johnson, how are you doing today, sir?
What's up, gentlemen?
Well,
Missed you guys.
The man who we're gonna try to shame into setting up his own YouTube channel so he can review these toys. And that is just a weekly reminder. It's gonna get worse every week until you do it, sir.
Well, it's bad enough now. You already called it toys. Come on now.
Oh, action figures. See, this is what I'm saying. You can't have a troglodyte like me who doesn't understand the difference, trying to define what these things are. You have to put a channel out there to push back against my nonsense, sir.
Indeed.
What are you doing?
Just don't call them dolls. You can call them toys, whatever.
No. I'm gonna call them dolls now. You shouldn't have told me that. I'm gonna call them dolls until you open up your channel. That's it. That's my motivational tactic. Negative reinforcement. It works every time.
It works. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Time. Okay. Yep. All right. I don't have a lot of energy. I'm still trying to get over the con flu.
It's showtime, baby. Get up.
NYCC. Come on. So let's just get right into it. What are we watching? Mr. K. Asante, you take us away.
Okay. Let's see. I watched a few things this week. Let's see. First off, a few of the ones that we've already talked about that I can just pass by. Let's see. Titans. Still think it's a great show. Still think people should watch it. I haven't seen the latest episode. I think it's good.
I didn't watch today's episode, but I haven't seen
the latest episode. You know, it's better. Episode. It's better than anything that has come before it in its type. It's not a movie, it's a TV show. It's better than all of them. Doesn't mean it's the greatest thing on earth, but it's better than all of them, and it's worth a watch. And the more you watch these
DC shows.
Sure, yes. Even Marvel, I'll say. Like a normal TV show. I'm not talking about like, Disney Plus kind of, because this is CW fare.
Yeah, all of this is cap. If you say a comic book TV show, that's a lie. It's bottom of the freaking totem pole.
All right, so what to you is
you got
the
all
boys,
the Marvel
really?
shows. You got What If. Yes, no. It's a comic book TV show.
We could agree to disagree. I actually like this. I like this better than The Boys. But okay, we'll continue. Yes, I watched that. I still think people should watch it.
You like this? You like this show better than
The
Boys?
Bullshit.
I think The Boys does a really good trick and not much more.
The Boys shits all over this show. All over.
My opinion. It does a very good trick, but even season 2 was the same trick as season 1, and that's why I'm just like, come on, show me more. That's why I kind of put The Boys a little lower, but that's just me.
That's on you.
Anyway, secondly, I have been watching Free Guy. Now I won't get into it because I know the rest of y'all have not seen it yet, but it is a. Have you?
So I'll probably watch it tomorrow.
Oh, okay. Then I guess we can table it and have a discussion about it later. But if you're any kind of gamer, it's even if you're not, like it's a really good. It was unusually good in its execution. It's fun, it's ridiculous, and it says something. It speaks to intellectual themes and things that I didn't expect to see there. So it's a pretty good show, movie. I think people should watch it. And of course, Foundation, another one of those I've been watching. I still think it's really good. If you like that hard sci-fi, it's hitting on.
You still like it?
I like it. I like the global traversal of it. I like the today we're
hold on a minute.
Yeah.
I apologize. Just one, I don't mean to cut you off.
No, go ahead, man.
Cole, you think The Boys is average?
Oh no, here we go. Stop. Would you
really? Really?
All right.
Wow. Okay.
That just registered with you?
It just hit me.
it just took a while.
Typical Batman fan shit. But
anyway, stop it.
But anyway, go ahead and continue.
Yeah. So the Foundation.
We got Sonic Echo X in here first. Watching live.
New watcher. Thank you so much for joining. Yeah, this is great.
Appreciate you,
so
it's gonna get spicy.
I like the Foundation because of its it's global scale. You know, like 1 minute you're watching an episode and the protagonists that you come to know are the ones that it's all about. The next episode you watch, it's 400 years in the future. They're all dead and new things are happening, right? And then they come back. It's very global in its scale. I'm not exactly like nailed on the story just yet, but it's got potential and it's growing. You know, I hate that watch one episode every week thing because it really doesn't give you that idea.
Honestly,
you like Titans.
Well, see, Titan. The reason why Titans is a little different from that
to follow.
Well, there's that. There's definitely that, and there's also Titans has characters and you know where it's going. When you hear the Red Hood, you know exactly where Red Hood is going. Now it's about the execution, whereas Foundation is new and weird.
Yeah, the execution is poor.
Oh, so, would you stop the slander? And then,
I've been watching every episode. It's not like Steven where he could say, "Oh, from the trailer." I've watched every single episode.
And you
may not poor man's The Boys.
It's terrible, Steve. Don't even waste your time watching it.
Okay. I mean, that is your opinion. That is your opinion on it, and that's fine.
I'm still going to watch it. I'm still not going to go back and watch season 1 or 2, but I'm going to finish out this season because I already started. You know what I'm saying? But I don't care enough to go back. But like the acting is too cheesy. It's like it's characters I know, but it's like it's super cheeseball.
It's not super cheeseball in my opinion. There has been many a cheeseball before this. You compare this to Arrow. Arrow is bottom of the barrel compared to this. Like, there are TV shows.
Whataboutism?
No. I am comparing one DC TV show to another DC TV show.
Arrow. We talking about this. Can it stand on its own without you? What about
I think so.
Arrow?
I think
you're
so.
Entitled to your opinion, but you're wrong.
And there you go. And you're entitled to your opinion, but you're also wrong. So there you go. That's fine. So besides that. Yeah. So besides that, and then of course I caught the Chappelle show, the closer, the Chappelle show stand up, the closer, and I'm sure we're gonna have some conversations about that. So yes, that's what I've been watching, and there's a lot more stuff I've been watching in dribs and drabs and stuff. But we can go forward. How about you guys?
All right, you go ahead and then because
I definitely watched.
Go ahead. Yeah,
I definitely watched the closer. I definitely been watching trash ass freaking Titans. I watched the movies that made us on Netflix because there's a new season out of that, which is good to go back and watch the stories behind a lot of these movies that we grew up watching. Like this season, it had like Coming to America and all these
nice
horror movies and whatnot.
Did they have Jaws? Did they ever do Jaws?
They did. I believe they did Jaws on there. They have.
Did they talk to Richard Dreyfuss when they did Jaws? Because there's an old anecdote that Richard Dreyfuss always tells, and there was a lot of problems on the set of Jaws, and the shark that they were initially going to use died, and then they had to use animatronics. And then they barely showed it the whole movie. And
I remember that. Yeah,
Richard Dreyfuss goes, and maybe it's not Richard Dreyfuss, but I'm 99% sure it's Richard Dreyfuss, and he goes and watches the movie opening night. And he just thought this was going to end Steven Spielberg's career, and it was going to be terrible. And at the end of the movie, he's sitting in back, and he's like, "The son of a bitch did it." And that line is what this guy used in Jurassic Park when he was talking about
crazy son of a bitch. I watched the Jurassic Park episode.
Yeah. So.
And that was amazing too. Like one day, because they were going to do it with like stop motion, and they thought that was the way to go. But then, they saw like it was these guys in secret, like they were working on the computer thing, like with the skeleton for the T-Rex, and it was just like we're just going to ambush them with it. And so when they saw it, their jaws hit the floor, and it's like this is it. This is the future, going forward. So they talked to the animatronics guy. It's like, how does that make you feel? That this is it, like you're a dinosaur. But when they were talking about it, they took a line from him, and then they put it in the movie.
Yeah, but the other thing is that movie works and still holds up today. I would argue better than the new ones that are all CG.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Because of the way they blended it.
Right. So when they needed to move fast for things that the animatronics couldn't do, you use the CG. But when they're up close to you, it still works and it's still believable. You believed dinosaurs were real.
And I also think that the fact that the shark died and they had to, like, because of that, they had to cut scenes away and make it more like you thought you saw them, but you didn't for as long as they did. It built that tension even better than they would have originally.
And that is why Steven Spielberg is the GOAT. Don't talk
for sure.
About
you got
Christopher Nolan.
You get no argument from me on that. No argument at all.
Is the GOAT, hands down. Anyways, now the only thing I've been watching, aside from watching one episode a night with the lady, because we're watching it together, Squid Game. And that's
you mad late, bro.
Hey man,
that shit came out a year ago.
Like I could watch it ahead, but we're watching it together, so I gotta adhere to the schedule.
You gotta binge watching live, bro.
Binge watching live.
Oh my god! I'm so surprised.
Oh no! What just happened?
What happened?
I didn't see that coming. No. But
great acting skills there, bro. Great acting skills.
We're on episode 2. We're gonna do 3 probably after this.
Y'all should at least do 2 episodes a night. Come on,
we can't, man. This when you got to get up at 5:30 in the morning. You not doing nothing. We might not even get till tomorrow. But anyway,
understood.
One thing I am watching on my own is Foundation, and I can't binge that because it's only week to week. But Foundation, to me, like you said, I love the scope of it, right? I love that you can jump from galaxy to galaxy and then timeline to timeline.
And it's all on the screen, like real beautiful.
Right. And they don't care that there's no action going on in these episodes. They will just say, listen, this is all about a math problem. And that's what we're talking about this week. But you get all the big budget and
it's riveting and everything.
All that stuff. I still think it is horribly miscast. And I think that for these people, I know it is the future, but these people who are supposed to be gritty and living on this planet, they feel too well spoken, like they came from Abercrombie and Fitch, Apple commercials and things like that.
I can see that.
And that kind of takes away from the grittiness that I feel like you should have there, and it takes away from this hard sci-fi element that you're trying to sell me.
There was an Amazon saved them. Another sci-fi that's actually still going on. I forget the name.
It's The Expanse.
There you go. That has more of that grit that you're looking for.
It feels
that has more of the lived-in experience you're looking for. So, although their scope is far less too.
Right, and again, so I think that the stuff back on with the Emperor, that's fine because they're rich, everything's new, whatever. But when we're out in the other parts of the galaxy,
they're too clean.
Yeah. And they're too well, come on.
Well spoken and too clean. You know, I don't disagree with any of your criticisms. Like I said, because of the non-bingeable nature, we could still be disappointed. But so far, what I'm seeing, I mean, you can disagree, but what I'm seeing keeps me watching.
What I'm afraid that it feels like, I don't know if you've watched the 100.
CW.
It
eventually jumped the shark.
That's a problem. Not everybody's supposed to be like a model in these things. True. Feels like they're doing. So there
are a lot of pretty people there. I get you.
Right. And so that's one part of it, and maybe that's the Apple of it. Like I'm just waiting for somebody to pull out an iPhone, like 1,000 years in the future, right?
Just in the future, just like
right. Boom. So then the other thing is, I feel like this show, and maybe they don't care. But it feels like these time jumps are things that should have taken place after a season. So season 1 is Harry Seldon and his death. And then season 2 should be let's go to Terminus. You know what I mean? And then the back and forth there. So it is jarring the jump, and I don't know if it's going to work.
It's almost like they're a little too overconfident in the fact that people will stick with them, and they're acting like they're in season 2, season 3 already when they should be building that fundamental story first.
Yeah, but I love that they have these kind of balls, these kind of cojones.
Yeah, indeed. Shout out to Gerald Mack.
What's happening?
What's going on, big boy?
So hold on. What the writer of Foundation definitely was a Star Wars Dune Battlestars Galactica.
Yeah,
fan.
you can see it. You can feel all of that in there.
I mean, one could argue that Star Wars Dune and Battlestar Galactica wouldn't exist if it wasn't for Foundation.
It was for this story, yeah.
So there is that, and the problem is with I think some of it is that it is David Goyer. And I have my issues with David Goyer. So, but anyway, I've also been watching. I'm not finished with it yet, but Dave Chappelle's The Closer. I've only caught like the first half of it, and I'm gonna watch the other half.
Bro, together, bro.
I know. All right, so that is now, Cole. When you say Me Too, do you mean that you also have issues with David Goyer, or do you mean you've only seen the first half of The Closer? Now, all right. Anyway,
everybody's seen that, Steve.
Why
the latest of the late?
Look, man, I've been busy, and we're going to talk about that later.
You should talk about that.
That's one of the topics, bro. That's one of the topics.
Look at his response. Me too. Yes. Thank you, sir. That's great.
All right. So, what if finale? I think it fell on its face. I was not happy with it. I didn't like it. I like that it all came together in the end, but it feels like it came together haphazardly. And
I can explain that to you. I mean, is that one of our topics?
That's the topic right now. Look at the screen.
You go ahead, man.
Okay. Well, I feel like the reason it feels like that is because of the pandemic. From what I was through my research, they said that the episodes were originally supposed to be like 40,
removed and things.
Yeah, 40, 45 minutes. The whole episode would come Gamora and Tony, where she killed Thanos. That episode
out of nowhere.
That episode was scrapped.
A whole episode's missing.
Yeah. So each episode was supposed to be longer, and a whole episode was missing. So if it felt rushed, that's why.
There you go. Yeah,
and
he's absolutely right.
But I mean, I don't know. I it felt like it felt rushed, but as a whole, though, every episode kind of felt like it ended too soon.
Well, that whole format is how you made it
45 minutes. Yeah, that's why it was supposed to be like more towards, every
45 minutes would be a small movie, a very small movie.
But you would have felt like the story was more completed and not so rushed.
Yep. So and this is what I'm saying. Like, I just think that like now that we can look at it as a whole, between the especially like in stuff like the Killmonger episode, but there are other like egregious violations of 3-act structure. I just think with this rushed ending, it all feels like it was a failed experiment, right? And it's not their fault, like pandemic. I completely understand that. But if we're judging it as a work of 9 episodes, each of them felt cut short. They didn't adhere, and not saying you have to. Well, you kind of do have to adhere to 3-act structures, but the ending just felt tacked on. And I just don't think it. And listen, Marvel rarely misses, but this feels like a miss in hindsight. Watching it in its totality,
I enjoyed it. That's like your opinion or whatever, man.
No, I enjoyed it for what it was and what they were attempting. But I'm just saying, like, for what it ended as, it feels like it needed more. And I hope. And listen, I'm here for a season 2. I hope that we can actually get like a fully fleshed out season 2. And there were moments of greatness in there, but as a whole, I just don't think it works.
So I have only two statements to make from me. Yeah, just 2, and then you can continue. 1, still egregious. James Spader, come on now. I said that last time we talked about it. I'll say it again this time. It was even more egregious this time. And 2.
Did you notice in the finale he kind of tried to do
He tried, but he's not Spader. You know what I'm saying? The Spaderisms need to be there. Anyway, and part 2, the thing that made me sad, I posted on the internet. The original the showrunners and the writers were at the end of it during the whole phase. They were looking forward to a Star-Lord T'Challa spinoff. And they were ready. They were already in production.
I don't think they should have done that. I think it was wisely canceled.
Hey, It's not that it was wisely canceled. It wasn't wisely canceled. Their star, unfortunately, is no longer with us.
But
I'm just sad for that potential. That's all.
I don't. I
mean,
think
it was kind of
great where
opening
it
up
was.
for that. What they showed, Star-Lord and T'Challa in the end. That's where they ended up together. So that's what would have happened. But it might still happen in season 2. They'll just switch the voice.
Hey, it may have fallen on its face. Who knows? But I loved what I saw with T'Challa and all of that. And it would have been exciting to see them explore that more. And that's with him specifically will never be. And I think that's sad. So
I mean, anybody could imitate Chadwick Boseman's Black Panther voice. You feel me? In animation.
We already talked about James Spader, didn't we? Just a few minutes ago. It's not that easy, bro. Come on now. You can try.
That's a pretty good voice.
Many fail. True. I won't give you that. I won't deny that.
Yeah. I mean, look, we'll see what they do in the next season. And again, massive missed opportunity that Kang doesn't show up by the end of it.
The only thing this thing was about was selling the damn toys, and they're doing that.
Yeah, but okay, sure, but I'm watching it as a
people pull so much into it. People put so much potential and so many ideas into it, but at the end, when it always ends up being that straight, simple shot, just like with the WandaVision and all the others, people go, "Oh, it wasn't."
No, WandaVision. WandaVision was great. Oh, we got Kimberly Asante in the building.
Oh, here we go.
All right.
What's going on, my dear? How you doing?
All right. We're not going to talk about some things now. No, I'm messing with you. I'm messing with you.
We can talk about whatever you want to, bro. What's wrong with you?
Code red, abort.
Quickly, change the topics. No. Okay.
So we were talking about towers. Go ahead, man.
All right. So anything else on the finale? I think it didn't work when you look at it.
So you think it dropped below an 8 or something for you after that?
Definitely a 7.5 right now.
Oh, that's not bad, man. I thought you were gonna go 5 or something.
No, I'm not gonna do that. People put hard work into this thing.
I enjoyed it thoroughly.
I did. I thought it was great.
Beautiful. I just wanted more. That's the only thing I could say about it. I wish because they pushed it back as much as they did already, and people were clamoring for stuff. People paying for their Disney subscription, so they had to just rush it out. But I wish they had pushed it back another 5 months and then gave me, what I wanted.
You needed it right now. Right?
I don't
in terms of rolling out the MCU stuff. So one other thing is this wasn't one of the topics, but the next Disney Plus show is Hawkeye.
Yeah.
Who cares?
I like the Die Hard vibes.
I do. Yeah, me too. I like the Die Hard, the Christmas.
I'll tell you the same thing I told Kay. You have trash taste in TV shows.
Hey man,
there you go.
You call it what you want.
Call it what you wish.
I like the John
shooting arrows,
idea.
dude. Even Hawkeye said this shit makes no fucking sense. I'm here shooting arrows,
and that's why Hawkeye is great.
And that's why this show is great.
Give him his own show. Just
in a world,
all the other motherfuckers who's more interested off the playing field.
In a world with no superheroes,
it's like you know who you want. We're gonna take him out of here and just give you this.
Too much crosstalk.
There should be no flying people in this, right? It should be more down to earth, right? So even in that world where there's guys with guns, it's interesting to see how they make this work. I'm there for it. I want to see if it's wrong, we'll call it out if it doesn't work. But I'm here to see them try.
Look, LeVar just turned into T'Challa when he first met Clint. It's like, my name's Clint. I don't care.
I don't care.
All right. So now we're gonna move on to the next thing, and this is where, you know what? Let's do something easy before we get into the meat and potatoes. So we're gonna talk about me being right. All right. So
here we go.
Spider-Man, according to Tom Holland, this is it. It's over. Finito. He doesn't have to get his costume. He doesn't have to go home, but he got to get the hell out the MCU.
Although, to be fair, They didn't specifically say MCU, but it's all spells that. You're 100% right. You know, they're talking more like, well, it's not going to be the three. It's not a trilogy anymore. And basically, they're saying we're out of the MCU without actually saying that. They didn't say that.
To be fair, though,
he's in the multiverse, and all the multiverse connects.
Right, but that's
sure.
not what I mean.
But the point is, there's a big chance the next time he's in a movie, he can still be in that same universe, but you will not see or hear anything about the others that you normally see and hear about.
He'll really be Spider-Man instead of
he'll just be
Iron
by
Man
himself in his
Strange
rogues
Jr.?
gallery. Exactly.
Okay,
Yes.
I think I like that.
Okay,
idea,
I'm going to spoil something for you, so you might want to mute this. If you didn't see if you didn't see Venom, Let There Be Carnage. Not that I have seen it. Yes. Okay. How many people who's watching have seen Venom? Anybody seen it in the comments? Because I'm gonna
let me know when I can put my headset back on again.
Well, anyway, in the ending of that, Steve, you aware of it? Of the ending?
I'm aware.
Have you heard the chatter?
I've been spoiled, like how you're about to spoil everybody else.
Exactly.
You have no consideration for people. But go ahead.
See, okay, I'm just asking the comments. Well, I'm going to spoil the ending for you, and if you unless you live under a rock.
Joe Smith, cover your ears for 30 seconds.
Yeah, cover your ears. Well, basically, it basically confirms that Venom connects to Spider-Man. They show Tom Holland. Venom licks the screen, and he says, "I like him." So basically, it's setting it up. So you might see Venom in the next Spider-Man movie.
You 100% are going to see Venom show up as a cameo in the next Spider-Man movie, and it's going to be a huge, huge deal because it's going to connect everything. And this is not spoiling the movie. It is just saying what we know is to happen, that Venom will show up in No Way Home. And
so all that time when remember we were discussing, is that Venom or Lizard in that scene? It might be Venom.
Maybe.
In that little 1 second where it was all black, it might be Venom now.
Okay. All right. So, all right. You can come back.
So now I see TK Cole going, I knew that was going to happen. Damn it.
Okay.
Anyway.
Right. No, we literally only talked about the post-credit scene. We didn't talk about the movie itself. So
okay, cool.
But
all good.
It is let me ask you a question.
On OGTK Cole on that Spider-Man 2 video game. I like that trailer. I like how Tony Todd does the Venom voice. He does a great Venom voice.
Yeah. So do you think that Venom and Spider-Man will eventually cross over, Mr. K. Asante, who pretended to not be listening?
No, I really wasn't listening. I did not pretend not to be listening. Right. And do I think that will happen with this news? I'm pretty sure that's where we're headed now. If where we think based 100%.
On the 100%.
Yeah. If these breadcrumbs that they're laying, basically saying we're out of the MCU without saying we're out of the MCU, is really what happens, the very next thing to keep people excited would be Venom versus
is going to show up in No Way Home.
That's a difficult one. I don't think so.
It's not difficult.
I don't think so. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't think so.
I'm willing to wager you're wrong.
Because that would be
the trailer already.
They have?
No, they haven't. That could be the Lizard.
That was Venom, bro. I seen it in slow motion. It was Venom.
Oh, so y'all just spoiling it for me now? Is that what's going on?
We're not spoiling. What are you talking about? We're talking about what we've seen.
What I'm saying is speculation.
Trailer.
Okay.
All right.
No, but
it's like the reason why I'm being coy.
The only reason why I would say I'm not sure about that is because why would Feige let that be if that's where they're going with it? Like,
okay, let me stop you right there before we spoil you anymore.
Because the multiverse madness, dude.
Okay.
Everything is
this was all a part of the deal to get this last Spider-Man movie, but Spider-Man Tom Holland's Spider-Man is contracted to be in one more non-Spider-Man MCU movie. So he's either going to be like Hulk was in Thor, or he's going to be in whatever
featured in another MCU. Hey, it's all good.
So he will be in one more movie, but that's it.
Sure.
He's done.
No, but you know what? I will give it to you. This one, even though they didn't come out and spell it out, you are absolutely right. I know we had this back and forth a few episodes ago on this show, and I was like, I don't know, I don't see it. Now with this news, I concede. It is what it is. It is what it is. That's fine.
Okay.
But let's continue.
All right. Okay, so anyway, but he says he's not going to be back, and the point that why I even made this a topic is because I said this. I like pointing out that I'm right, but I tried to
the
explain
continued
to you,
tradition of pointing out
yes,
that he is right.
I tried to explain to people that whether we like it or not, Sony does not need the MCU, and we know the MCU doesn't need Sony.
Of course,
right?
yeah.
And why
the
do we
fans
know
need
that?
it though?
The
It's not
fans
about what they
definitely
need.
it.
The fans want it, and I believe that they listen to the fans. And it's like, if we could all make money, let's make money.
Wait, who announced they was working on a Daredevil script? Was that Feige? Because he has the
there has been Feige has gone back and forth with that the actor that was
also,
playing
remember
in Netflix's version
is like Jessica Jones is coming to Disney Plus.
Yep.
So
the
it's
only one that isn't the only
Iron
one
Fist.
that so far is not at all is Iron Fist. The others have all been kind of
but you could bring back
even
Iron
Luke
Fist
Cage has been kind of sort of toyed about with.
You can bring back a new Iron Fist in the next Shang-Chi movie. That's somebody who can actually fight. Now, one thing that I want to bring up is that a lot of people think that Matt Murdock is going to show up to be Peter Parker's lawyer in No Way Home. There's zero chance that will happen. Zero.
You think they're going to do
and what is your reasing for that zero chance?
Matt Boner?
No, it's not even. I mean,
did you get that reference, Steve?
Yeah, I get it. It's from WandaVision. Yes, yeah. You didn't see that coming. But
no, give me some of your give me a hypothesis behind it. Give me your reason behind it.
I got you.
Is still fired. Okay. But the thing is, the way the contract works for these Spider-Man movies, any new characters,
that's true. Yeah, I remember that.
Show up in the Spider-Man movies
become usable by them.
Yes, and they are owned by Sony, right? Because this is their iteration. Even though Feige is producing it, it's still they own. So this version,
so if you let them borrow it, then they become part of it, and you don't want that. So in that instance, I hear you. Now, the meta narrative will stop that from happening. I get it.
The legal contract will stop that from happening.
Basically, yes.
Right now, word on the street. Word on the street is they have a Solomon Grundy movie.
Word on a Monday.
Solomon Grundy.
Do you know how many Solomon Grundy variations there have been on TV and on screen? And they've all been kind of bad. I hope they really spent some time on it. They've all been kind of. There's been many iterations of that Solomon Grundy, most of them have been.
I don't know. I still want to watch the swamp. Is it the swamp thing? Swamp thing.
Yeah.
There's only one season of that, right?
It was only one season, but it was damn good.
Really good.
It was damn good. Yeah.
Like
I heard it was really good, and then it started to get worse as the show went on after they pulled the plug.
They announced it halfway through the season that they were pulling.
They announced that they pulled the plug, and then at the end of the season, people were like, "Why the hell did you do that? This show's great."
Yeah, we'll see. I'm gonna. That's all.
They pulled the plug on Tick, and I love that show.
The real Tick or cartoon Tick?
No, the Tick on Amazon.
The real Tick. Yeah, that was level good too.
Yeah, I enjoy it.
Yeah.
And moving on, but Spider-Man's out of there. And before we move on, the thing is, you have to look, and I keep trying to explain this to people. Sony has won an Oscar with one of their Spider-Man movies. Sony
Into the Spider-Verse
is
the best Spider-Man movie.
So right, and
yes.
and I mean, I would argue it's the second best, only behind Spider-Man 2. But we can have that debate another day. But the point is, Sony has made two of the best Spider-Man movies. So anything the MCU has made has been not as good as their top two Spider-Man's movies. So the MCU Spider-Man can only be 3.
This is so crazy.
One second, and hold that thought because I want you to say that. They have also never made less than $768 million. That's the lowest grossing Spider-Man movie ever. And when they tried to do a Spider-Man spin-off movie with Venom, it almost made $1 billion, and people are going crazy for the second one. So they know they can make money. They know that they can win awards, meaning it's critically acclaimed, and they know that they can spin it off. This is only something for the fans, and the only reason it happened is because Amy Pascal is cool with Kevin Feige, and all of those emails leaked during the hack, right? And Sony was retooling, and Spider-Man has never been bigger. And now the game shot it to another stratosphere, and now they have the sequel coming out. It's going to shoot that.
Now they can keep it moving.
Stratosphere.
That's right.
And it's not a coincidence that Venom is in that Spider-Man game, because I promise you, it's going to tie in when they do their movie together. That Venom versus Spider-Man movie.
Oh yeah, so no doubt.
Absolutely fine, and he never has to show up.
Sure. With that idea that they're splitting now, with that idea solidified that they're splitting now, it is a foregone conclusion. He is definitely going to be Spider-Man versus Venom. That 100%.
Right, and that movie,
I'd be stunned if I don't see that.
If theaters are back by then, meaning like people are just
it'll sell. It'll sell like crazy. Oh yeah, 100%.
that can do $1.5 billion.
Yep. Imagine Sony goes Spider-Man only in theaters and on PS5. I'm just messing.
So
they need something.
So the point is, they'll be absolutely fine. And one could argue that maybe Spider-Man's future is even brighter than the MCU's future, because the MCU has to start over, and people have to fall in love with Shang-Chi, and they don't have Black Panther there to shepherd it along. And Thor is only going to do one more movie. And what do you call, people are lukewarm on Captain Marvel. Right?
The Eternals the pre-orders for the Eternals are higher than any of them have ever been.
What I'm saying is, like, the past success is not an indicator of future.
Sure.
Success.
No doubt.
It could be that let me not say it could. What I'm saying is, it is not guaranteed that the MCU will be as big as it was. They have to rebuild, and they have to do new things, and that's totally fine, but it is not a given. So what I'm saying, if you're looking at like cards stacked up, there's more interesting big things to look forward to from Spider-Man in terms of him fighting Venom. Then we don't know what the next Avengers movie is going to be, and we don't care yet because Kevin Feige hasn't told us to care yet. So we shall see, is what I'm saying. So if I'm a suit at Sony, right, I'm saying, you know what? If I'm Avi Arad, I'm saying, you know what? We good. We got.
Oh no, if you're a suit, for sure. If you a suit, for sure. Now, I see everything you're saying, and all of that works.
Do that live action Miles Morales, and when they do Into the Spider-Verse 2,
can I jump in? Because I've been waiting.
Go ahead.
What I was going to say with this whole Spider-Verse opening up, which is what they're trying to do, beyond any Venom and Spider-Man stuff, there's what people have been clamoring for, and we hope to get in this next Spider-Man movie, is Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield. And because like all studios end up doing the same thing at the same time, it seems like, DC is opening up the multiverse with Flash, and Spider-Man is opening up the Spider-Verse, and Marvel is opening up the multiverse. Everybody's doing the same thing at the same time. They can bring back Tobey Maguire and do that fourth Spider-Man movie. They can bring back Andrew Garfield and finish his movie. Everybody is clamoring for that old thing back. So anything is possible with the Spider-Verse.
Yeah, but I think you eat Marvel and DC and Spider-Man. Like, I think that they can do this, but they cannot run this multiverse stuff into the ground, because you remember the comics crash in the 90s when they was doing all these variant covers, and they had all these different versions, and then clone Peter Parkers and all that shit.
I mean, we'll see how all these movies, it's the Spider-Verse and then the multiverse of madness and all of that. We'll see how it all does.
You can't compare the complexity of a comic book universe to the MCU. You've seen that Feige is chief among all of his strategies is to keep it simple, stupid, and he always does that.
You don't think it's getting more complex with this multiverse stuff?
But it's far less complicated than its comic variation, like far less.
So hold on.
In the comic variation, there'd be 5 different in the comic variations.
Spider-Man.
That's because you almost 50.
It's gonna be CG. I mean, all these. If you want to be real, like Tony
You're watching
Stark
a
and all of them.
60-year-old Tony Stark,
Yeah.
but you got a problem with a 50-year-old Spider-Man who's going to be all CG
I want to see
anyway?
him with a beard anyway. He's gonna be doing all his Spider-Man stuff in CG, but it'd be cool. You know,
So,
a grizzled
It
Spider-Man.
would be cool to see an older Spider-Man. Yes, it would be cooler to see.
We're going to
this
see an old Batman in
Yeah.
the Flash movie, so I want to see it. Let the OGs get in there. We saw old Logan, you know?
Yeah, and old Logan was good.
We
real good.
We saw old Batman in Justice League and BVS, but that's none of my business.
But we're going to see
No,
an old one.
that was getting
The
old.
We're going to see old in this Flash movie.
Okay. So, but yeah, I just think that there's a lot of things, and what is after Spider-Man and Venom? Miles Morales. Right,
I will not deny it. If they are able to pull off a good Miles Morales live action Spider-Man, oh boy, it's gonna be pandemonium. I can see it now. Like
is what I'm
it'll
saying.
be
and then Miles Morales meets Peter Parker, and then you do your when I mean, it seems like they're gonna do the Sinister Six right now, but you could even build from there. So there's a lot of stories that you could do for Spider-Man. And Venom, remember, Venom is a what he has evolved into. That's a sci-fi thing in space. So they could go back to the planet and what is it, Kroll or whoever it is, the leader of the symbiotes.
You could do a whole going back to their home planet situation and Cybertron types.
I want to see that movie, and I want it dark. I don't want it all in the tone of Venom. I want it, sinister and like an alien movie.
I mean, you could do that, or you could do it like Infinity War, where it's just like this galactic thing, and it's like Star Wars. But
I don't even really like the tone of Venom.
Yeah,
it's a weird tone, but a lot of people seem to like it. Yeah.
People like Venom, and they just go to see Venom do Venom stuff. But
I think people also like Tom Hardy.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yes.
He has a cult following.
Yeah. Okay, so you guys ready to get serious?
Serious? I don't know about serious, but we can have some real conversation. Let's do this
and talk about a comedian. Dave Chappelle.
The GOAT.
Now the question I ask is your title.
Guys, hang yourselves. Go ahead.
Your title is a little bit. I don't know. I don't see the backlash.
There ain't no
backlash. All I see is news stories over and over and over again.
All I see is publicity to make more and more people watch it.
Well, first off, all I saw was, this showrunner is boycotting and leaving.
You need to explain that because that's not in the title. Explain. The whole thing.
So whole synopsis. Chappelle, you know him, many love him. He is no stranger to outlandish controversy, right? And when this stand up was coming, there was inklings that it was going to start some ish because he was going to fully address the controversy that has been surrounding his conversations about trans people, right? And he said it before. Like he's gone there before, but every time he goes there, he seems to be misconstrued, or at least that seems to be his thoughts on it. So this time, and he literally, like in this show, he basically, before he started, he said, "This is me putting it to bed. This is me, speaking on it once and for all, getting my point across, and then putting it to bed," right? And that's what started all this stuff. Now, what are the logistics of what he said? You can go watch it for yourself, okay? But what I will say is, this is Dave Chappelle. He literally started his career exactly where he is now. He hasn't evolved. We've just recognized his genius, and basically continued to recognize his genius in his later years. He has never been more biting or less biting. He's always been this way, right? And every time he is this way, everyone gets it. He's done it to black people. He's done it to white people. This is what he does. This is his brand. So if you're about to watch a Dave Chappelle show, what are you expecting? You're expecting some slander. You're expecting some smoke. And he obviously presented that, right? So the backlash, quote unquote, being now the showrunner of Dear White People. Now, for those who may not know, Dear White People was written and produced by this black gentleman. I forget his name. And it was a movie 2017, did very well, and then eventually Netflix made a deal, started a show, and they put a showrunner on it. This showrunner who now has come, who now later we've come to see is a trans person, came out in various articles saying, "Oh, I really like Dave Chappelle in the beginning, and because of all of this, I'm not only boycotting the show, but I'm also leaving Netflix because of him."
Let me interject right there.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
You could go right back. But they had already canceled the show, and you already didn't work for Netflix.
Yes.
So for you to be saying like you're no longer working with them, F out of here with that bullshit. But continue.
Yes.
No, I think she was saying, just so we're being fair, she was saying she's not going to pitch them anything else.
Yeah.
They wouldn't go to the ideas anyway.
Yeah. Well, that's neither here nor there. Now, my opinion on it, and we can all, decide what we want to decide about what we want to say about the whole situation. My opinion on it, on this specific thing is, one, this has been Dave Chappelle's bread and butter since day one. And no one is safe. No one has ever been safe. No one is safe, period.
Well, let me ask you a bigger question, right? Just not to cut you off, but I think
please.
This is the heart of the matter.
Yeah.
When we are talking about comedy, is there such a thing as punching down, and should anyone be safe?
Nope.
No one should be safe. And righteously, no one should be safe. And he was not punching down.
He was not at all.
Not at all.
But how can you confident? And I'm just playing devil's advocate.
Yeah.
But how can you shrug your shoulders confidently? And I'm not saying I disagree with you, but I'm just saying for all the people that may watch this in the future.
Yeah.
How can you confidently shrug your shoulders when that's not your demographic that he's talking about, and say,
you can go ahead first. Go ahead.
Here's it.
Because that's the question that people might be thinking.
Of course.
The interview that Don Lemon did with Flame Monroe and other interviews that Flame Monroe has done talking about the Dave Chappelle special. Flame Monroe is a black transgender comedian, and it's like, as a comedian, you have the right to offend. He says things that are harsh truths. People don't like it. But you can't deny
that's his job.
Things that he's saying.
His job is to be there to be offensive. Yes,
it's to start a discussion. He's not advocating violence against trans people. He's not advocating anyone go out there and do anything or disrespect anyone or hurt anyone's feelings. But he's saying, okay, I agree with your right to be who you are, but to what extent am I to participate in your self-image? Like, why?
And even beyond that,
I'll call you whatever you want me to call you, but to say that something is something and I'm just supposed to agree with that, some people may think that's a mental thing. But you have a right to feel how you feel. I'm not going to disrespect you, but don't say everyone has to feel how you feel or they're transphobic. You understand?
And beyond that, where I really keyed in on what he was saying was, if you look at his career, he has given righteous smoke to everyone, right? Equally. And everyone has been offended. Black people have been offended, white people, everybody has been offended by this man. He is the Shakespearean version of the court jester. He comes in, outlandish shit, but if you pay attention, what's made him the man and the living legendary comedian he is that he's not afraid
to push the boundaries.
He also presents equal parts of knowledge that more often than not is more revolutionary and more thought-provoking than you thought would ever come out of a man, come out of his mouth. He does that everywhere. His stand-up specials. He does that with Saturday Night Live. Every time he speaks and you allow him to speak and you hear what he says, it's very profound. And you can tell he's a very learned and very intelligent individual. So with that all together, if you are offended, you have every right to be, but he has offended everyone equally. So you are not special in thinking that.
Cole says we are tap dancing around what he really said. Cole, tell us what he really said.
Sure.
And
if you think so, yes.
I have only seen half
Here's-
of this thing, and I'm gonna watch it.
Because there's one part that I really want to speak, but you go ahead. Yes.
Okay. If you watch the whole thing,
Mhm.
there's this comedian, this transgender comedian named Daphne. He's been talking about her for the past couple specials.
Yep.
But this person, she ended up killing herself. But he met her, like she would be front row at all his shows and like laughing hysterically at his jokes. He let her open up for him. And she defended him to the transgender community, and she was bullied so much she ended and shunned by her community. She ended up killing herself. You know.
Yep.
But
so
it's
did
like
he
people
talk about that on the special?
He did.
Yeah, he did.
Because he was making jokes, and then he said that, and then it got dark.
Yes.
Like
so. Yeah, and it got and that's what he does, right? That's what I said. Usually he gives you that comedy and then presents that. No, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Yes.
What he does is his ability to pull you back in after he takes it to a dark place. He can reel the audience back in and make everyone laugh again.
Yep.
But a lot of it's like nobody is above being talked about. He's an equal opportunity offender. He talked about space Jews. He talks about Asian people. He talks about white people. So why is it that this group of people? The thing that he talked about with the baby.
Yeah, let me talk about that because that's the part that I saw, and I can't speak to the second half of the show.
Yeah, go ahead.
One thing that stood out to me is he talked about how everybody's favorite young rapper, the baby, is actually on camera killing someone, shooting someone dead in a Walmart in some state. And he wasn't canceled for that because you can shoot a black man
and kill a nigga, but you can't offend a gay person.
That's right.
And that to me stood out.
That is telling.
Right?
Now,
his shot also with the Space Jews joke where he talked about he was writing a sci-fi script and then it was aliens, but then they left and then they really came back and then they left thousands of years ago and then wherever they went didn't work out. The planets they tried to inhabit didn't work out, so that they came back to Earth and said that this is their planet. And he called it Space Jews. And I think he was talking about the sort of Palestinian conflict.
Yes,
right?
yes.
But I haven't heard anyone say cancel.
Nobody said cancel him because of that.
Right.
Yeah. So, okay. Well, let me. There's one piece of the puzzle that I kind of want to get out. Okay. And the reason, and Cole can say, "Oh, you're talking around the issue." To me, it's not the issue that it's not what he said that requires analysis and dissecting. To me, okay? To me, it's the idea that you are, for all intents and purposes, you're an employee of the same company that he is. He's a contractor, and you're an employee. You got issues, you go talk to him. Instead, what happens? You go out and blow it up, right? You go out and blow it out. Oh, this and that and the other thing, right? And then obviously some of us may not know who you are. Some of us may not know the logistics of the situation, right? And because of all of this, it kind of shines a spotlight on, hey, what's going on? Why is this happening? Who are you? Why are you saying this about Dave? Because we know what Dave Chappelle is, right? If you're gonna go and hit play on the stand-up special, you know what to expect because he has a storied career of this exact thing. This is not surprising to anyone at all, right? So we go and we start paying attention, and when we do pay attention, what do we see? We see, and he even mentioned it. I will paraphrase. I will not say it exactly the way he did, but forgive me. He basically says, "Oh, I can't." He basically said something to the effect of, I can't criticize white people. Oh yeah, I've been criticizing white people all this time. No, now you can't criticize because I've worn a wig. I'm now a woman. You have no right to criticize me. Something to that effect, right? And if you look at what's going on, you have this person.
Be specific, TK Cole.
Yeah, you have you have this person.
He's saying that we're not being specific.
Yeah, he's saying that we're tap dancing.
No, tap dancing around what?
Around what? I don't look. my issue here has nothing to do with trans people or not. I believe that they are as trans as I am black. There is no choice in the matter. That's just what it is. My problem is you, the person that came out and started throwing smoke, right? If you do that, then we start looking around, and do you know what I see? I see, all right, so you want to sit there and you want to throw smoke at Dave Chappelle, but then we look back and we go, so you're the showrunner of Dear White People, and that show has gone all but down. And when we look at it, what do we see? A white person. Can we have righteous anger there as well? Can we sit there and go, so he can speak on the fact that a black person cannot get the equal treatment they deserve, but God forbid he says that we can't speak about you because you're, transphobic, trans. That has nothing to do with one or the other. Mm-hmm.
He talks about the hypocrisy in modern society, and all of this, and he's relating the trans thing to what goes on with black people.
Yes,
what he did was he talked about all the protected people who you're not supposed to talk about. You're not supposed to talk about gays. You're not supposed to talk about Jews.
Yep.
And he just pushed those boundaries
while doing it.
Cancel me, then cancel me. But I'm going to. I'll die for my art.
That's right. Okay, but you can't cancel Dave Chappelle. The other thing, though, that he pointed out,
because he didn't take that $50 million, it's like that's why you can't cancel him.
But he
carries his integrity on his
yeah. No, but I'm just saying, but he does this by his own. He doesn't have to answer to anyone when he does this. He goes out there and shoots it and then sells it to Netflix.
Yeah.
It's like he already shot those and had those in the bag and then sold them to Netflix.
Yeah. Back when he needed it, back when we all knew he needed it, and then rejected it on the basis of integrity. That is where the gold emblem on his chest came, and it'll stay. And since then, he can sell whatever the hell he wants, and everyone will always stand behind him, because when he needed it and they handed it to him, he saw integrity and chose not to do that. You know what I'm saying? So if you know this about this man, and it's a storied history, right? And then you wanna bring some righteous criticism to him in your opinion, you better make sure that you're ready to receive what you will get as well.
Everybody laughed at the most racist, stereotypical black stuff that he did, right? So why is it not okay when he talks about other people? You laugh at us, right? But you can't laugh at yourselves.
That's right.
That's the point.
And then I have to look at you and go, so why do you have the job you have, or why did you have the job you have? Because clearly you weren't good at that job, because the show went to shit. It was a great movie that spoke like volumes to a new generation of black people, and that show turned to cookie cutter crap, and now we see why.
So another thing that he brought out, which is something that we talked about, I talked about this, I speak about this many times, and he talked about the Me Too movement and how a lot of it was this sort of it was sort of a power grab for white women in Hollywood. When I don't know that he mentioned Tarana Burke, but that's who started that movement, and they never went back to the real people, the cleaning lady that has to go deal with these things. They
co-opted the movement and kept it moving. Yeah,
which is what happens a lot, right? Like 100%. All of these things get co-opted, and then no real changes happens, and then the people who were leading the charge get forgotten about, so that people can throw hashtags on things. Yep. So and he talked about the racist beginnings of the feminist movement, how they didn't want what's her name to speak, right? And where she was like, "Am I not a woman?" Right? And
now all of a sudden,
right,
we the shoe is on the other foot. So just like the joke that he made, we can criticize Caucasian men, but I put on a wig and now you can't criticize me no more because I'm not part of that.
Dave Chappelle is the modern day George Carlin.
Yes.
So
he has evolved into a preacher. It's just that like he has something he wants to say, a message he wants to convey, and then he sprinkles it with humor. But it's really about the message. It's not about jokes.
So
there have been some stand-ups where there've been barely any jokes, and they've been all profound.
The other thing he pointed out that I saw was, he talked about an interaction that he had, and whether the interaction is true or not, but whether it was an allegory or really happened, where he saw a person from the LGBT community in a restaurant, and they were taking a picture of him and doing whatever. So he went over there to sort of curse them out, and he was ready to fight. And as soon as he was ready to fight, they dropped, they stepped away from the we are in the struggle together and we're all, minorities, into I'm going to call the police on you, knowing what could happen.
Of course, because they know if all else fails, they still have an out that we never do. And that's the realness. That's what it is. And that's what Dave Chappelle speaks on, but people don't want to hear that. That's the case of it.
A lot of things people think he says are jokes. He's telling the truth. Like, you think he was really molested, or it's a joke?
That's the question, isn't it?
So and
when he talked about dancing with a transgender, you think that's a joke, or it's the truth?
Yeah,
I think a lot of it is truth, and a lot of it is truth.
Yeah, oh yeah. I
think
a lot of it is truth.
So how can you get mad at somebody for telling their actual life experience?
And I want to move on to the next thing, which is semi-related.
Yep.
But what I ultimately want to say about this is the thing that I said when we first started this show, right? It is what I think Dave Chappelle, and I don't think that this is what unfortunately happens, and I don't think it should happen. I don't think we have to pit the plight of the Black community against the LGBT community. We don't have to do that. I'm not saying that that's what Chappelle did, but I don't want people to do that. Right?
No,
but
I agree.
What Chappelle, in at least the first half that I saw, and I will continue it tonight, and I will speak on the rest of it as I see it. But what he is speaking to is the frustration that I have always had, which is, as Black people, we put the cape on for every group of struggling people. And when it is time to for somebody to put the cape on for us, we on our own.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
And Black people put on the cape for the LGBT community?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Oh yeah,
absolutely.
Oh yeah.
And what that means is
they're on the same picket lines. For sure.
We come to every struggle.
The Black people
come to their aid.
No,
we come to their aid. We come to everybody's aid.
We come to every struggler's cause because we know what it is. But every time it comes back to us, we on our own, and it gets worse. And it gets even
honestly,
worse if you are a Black man.
With this specific situation, I don't even think that this is, and that's why I don't agree with what you're saying, Cole. It's not specific to what was said. It's this showrunner weaponizing her plight for the purpose of gain, and that is where the anger comes from. This is not the body politic saying, "Oh, this was bad, you shouldn't do that." No, this is one specific individual going, "Look at me. Hey, look at me. No. Don't look at the fact that I was born in male. No. Now I have plight. So you need to hear me. And because I have this plight and and you can see where I'm coming from, I'm weaponizing it against him." And that's some bullshit, in my opinion.
Dave Chappelle
that is the problem
talking about the community because every time they tried to take away his livelihood because he makes a joke, but you were not offended when he talked about anyone else. Why should anybody be above being joked about? It's a joke. Take a joke. That's why he keeps doing it. But he's not disrespecting anyone.
I mean, you can't say that. The question is, does it?
Because he puts himself in the situation. And he talks about himself in the situation. He doesn't call them derogatory names or whatever. He says something that is, it may be offensive to people, but that doesn't mean.
Listen, what I'm saying. So there's two things to understand. The first thing to understand is you can't tell somebody what they should and shouldn't be upset about. And especially if you don't, just one second, I'm just going to make these 2 points and then you say whatever you want. You can't tell them. So if they feel offended based on their life struggles and all those things and the things that they have been through and the traumas they've been through, you can't tell them to not be upset. On the second part of it, so what? And I don't mean to them. I don't mean to them specifically. I mean, we cannot censor comedians.
That's right.
Right? And that is ultimately where all of this comes down.
It is their job to offend.
You're completely free to be offended and not like it, but the comedian should be free to say
whatever the fuck they want.
And if you don't like it, the next time there's a Dave Chappelle special, don't watch.
Don't watch. Exactly. And to append this conversation, Let LeVar go. Go ahead.
To quote Patrice O'Neal, he said, when doing comedy correctly, half the room should be laughing. The other half should be completely mortified. That is the purpose of comedy, to offend and to bring laughter, to find humor in the uncomfortable situation, to the balance of it. You're supposed to be offended. It's comedy. But to try to censor them is ridiculous.
Well, hold on a minute, because freedom of speech works both ways, and this is what Joe.
But it's not like if his whole entire special was just about these people, then you could say, okay, you have something against them. If I make a joke about everybody, why are you trying to cancel me because I made a joke that offended?
But this is what I'm saying. The cancel part doesn't matter. You can't cancel them.
You can't cancel them.
Right? So, but
none of this. Twitter is not a real place.
Hold on a minute.
Like Dave Chappelle said.
Look at what Joe Smith says here.
Yeah,
he reserves his right to call out a white person for making a racist joke. Now,
it depends.
Hold on a minute. Hold on a minute. It doesn't. It might not be funny to Joe, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So the point is,
comedy subjective.
If you cannot, on one hand, say Dave Chappelle has the right to say what he wants and tell his jokes, and then on this other hand, say that people don't have the right to complain. They can complain all they want.
Yeah,
that's right.
You should be free to complain. That doesn't mean I have to listen to your complaint.
Hey, we complain sometimes during the Chappelle show. We complain sometimes because he went too far sometimes. He's gone too far many a time. He is a habitual line stepper. That is what his brand is. So what makes you feel you're special? You have, and I agree with you, Everborn. Everyone has every right to be upset. No one says, "Oh, shut up, you don't have the right to be upset." You have the right to be upset. But that's as far as it goes. You know, that's it. Because this is the job. This is what he does, and he does it well. And we all have agreed to that. Because as all of them have stepped away, he has become the embodiment of what that is. So you have right to be angry. No one can deny that. I'm not saying you shouldn't be angry if you're offended. No one can say that. But to then say, "Oh, this means he needs to be canceled. We need to get picket signs and get out of here with all
saying he needs to be canceled," that doesn't mean anything. What is it?
It means what they're trying to say is he needs to be ripped off of Netflix.
Cancel culture is not a real thing.
But it doesn't.
A bunch of people, like to quote Tory Lanez, like getting canceled is just a bunch of
the best person to cancel.
But I'm just quoting him. Just getting canceled. Cancel is a bunch of niggas getting on Twitter at the same time and saying some hating shit. That's it. That it means nothing. Twitter is nothing. And then they make a news story because bots can write these things, and then they say, "Oh, this person, Twitter user, blah blah blah, said this shit."
I mean,
and then it's a story.
To be fair,
this person is offended.
To be fair, that whole idea of cancel culture, it can go like there are people who have literally lost their livelihoods because of a misplaced tweet way back in the day. It has happened.
It depends on
what's good, Mr. Big.
Yeah, but that's why I don't tweet.
Welcome, good sir.
That's why I'm off of Twitter, bro.
No, but you know what I'm saying? Like people can get offended by all of this.
I put on Twitter as the link to the show.
Yeah, there's in addition to this story, there's that whole thing of before the stand-up came out, there were some employees that were warning Netflix to not release it because it would create this. Did you see that?
I saw it, and they're planning a walkout.
They're planning a walkout and all this. You know, like you can be funny and you can push the envelope as long as you don't do it to us. Really? That's the world we live in now?
That's the world we've always lived in. And hold on a minute. We've seen this happen many a times with South Park, right?
South Park offends me. I'm not mad about it.
Right, but this is what I'm saying. South, we've seen this. Everybody laughs.
Racist shit on it. I laugh at myself.
Everybody laughs at South Park until they're making a joke about you or your demographic, and I think that's all that this is.
So you're saying that if
I'm saying this is not new.
No, I agree that this is not new, but you're telling me them going as far as trying to quote unquote cancel and all of that, that's also not new?
If you watch Flame Monroe,
they've been trying to get South Park canceled since forever. The uptight people,
yeah,
right. They try to get Beavis and Butthead canceled a bunch of times.
Yeah, true. Yeah, but that's you know the Bible Belt folks have really been on that.
That's the funny thing, though. I think the 1 second, LeVar. I think the Bible Belt folks have gotten a lot more accepting because of Trump. And the liberals have turned into that Bible Belt.
Yeah.
They're the ones who can't take anything in it, and they're Puritans now. But anyway,
purse clutchers, indeed.
Indeed. LeVar, go ahead, and then I want to move on to John Kent.
It's related. I feel like a lot of people are jumping on the bandwagon because some people say that they're offended by the special. A lot of them didn't even watch it. Some people feel they're supposed to be offended. They're supposed to be offended. They didn't even watch it, because there's a lot of people who are gay and trans who watched it and agree with some of the things that he says. It may be offensive, but it's truth in it.
Yeah. Which is always what he does. That's always what he does. That's right. You know, so that's why I'm still so that's why I'm still personally on that. This individual wanted to start some righteous smoke, but had no basis to do so. That's why all the extra does not really matter to me, because this is old hat.
That doesn't make it righteous smoke, does it?
Exactly, it's not. It is actually not righteous smoke. Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
All right. Now, and I actually think the smoke coming towards her is more righteous than where she started spitting.
Right. So this is not dissimilar. You know what? I'm not gonna say it.
Go ahead.
No. I was gonna.
Now who's tap dancing?
I was gonna talk about when Monique was like giving smoke to Netflix. It's like they didn't pay you that much because you wasn't Dave Chappelle.
Because you weren't Dave Chappelle. That's right. That's right.
Right. So like, okay, you left Netflix, right?
Yeah. Good for you.
Okay. Does that mean I don't have to suffer through another trailer for season 8 of this knockoff CW show? But anyway,
indeed,
John Kent, because we just love the action today.
Hey man,
no,
when it rains, it pours.
I'm not pulling up any pictures because I probably won't get a DCMA. But the last time I pulled something up on the screen, it was crazy. Let me see if I find it and I'll try to pull it in. But you go ahead. Yeah, exactly. LeVar, you go ahead. You talk about John Kent. I will bring a picture up.
So apparently Superman's son is bisexual, and a lot of people are upset about it. But my famous quote is, "Who cares, bro?" I feel like from what studies say, the demographic that they're trying to cater to don't support comics that much for it to warrant them putting it out. But I get it, representation is important, but why is it like you're pushing the sexuality on the cover of the comic book? Why is that important?
I'm going to stop you there, because
they don't push sexuality with Superman on the cover of Superman comic books. It's him fighting whoever the hell he's fighting.
Yeah, but there have been covers of him kissing Lois in a booth. Right?
Like, which ones?
Are you gonna make me look for it?
Yes. Pull it up.
Okay, no problem.
Pull it up.
Here we go.
Here we go. Where he's tonguing her down, and
there's no tonguing down.
He's been out there since the 50s, bro. I think he'll find one.
Picture of Superman kissing
Lois
the way that his son is kissing that boy.
Don't do it. Don't do it, because we're gonna find that, man. He's been out since the 50s, bro. Come on now. That's a little too far.
So send me a link with the cover that you're talking about. You're pretending this is some Last of Us 2 shit where he's bending over his friend. Stop that right
No,
now.
I'm
That's not
talking
what
about
happened.
he's tonguing him down, and it's all sensual, like, man. I'm
Why are
just
you
saying.
looking at it like that? It's a draw. Okay, let me say
All right,
this.
here we go. I got one for you right here.
You should find it. Share your screen.
No. I'll give it to you. Go ahead.
I think the LGBT community is overreacting to Dave Chappelle, and I think the cis community is overreacting to John Kent.
I don't care either way, as long as it ain't Superman.
Big facts.
I'll put it in the
private chat. That's the link to one of the covers.
Okay,
I'll keep providing them. Go ahead. Y'all talk. I'll just keep providing covers. Go ahead.
Okay, hold on a minute, because
that's one.
Wait, okay. You did this. You brought this on yourself, LeVar. All right.
And these are covers, so I got to be careful. Let me make sure they're covers. There's one. I'm gonna keep going. Go ahead.
This looks crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, there we go.
There you go. There'll be more. Don't worry. I'm digging through covers, but y'all continue to talk, please.
Okay. So you was cool with this?
Yes. I mean, okay. I don't read Superman comics anyway.
So now you switching. You don't read. This is some PlayStation fanboy shit.
Yeah, this is some goalpost moving bullshit right here. Oh man, goalpost moving bullshit up in here.
The only Superman comic I ever bought was like Death of Superman.
Okay.
You see when they killed that. They killed that guy.
What you doing?
So there you go. This is the other one.
Okay.
You don't need to zoom in so much.
Listen to this man. Calm yourself, man.
All right. So this is what we're talking about.
All
right.
No, there's another picture where there's like slobber coming down on the side. And
is that the cover? Is that the cover of the thing, like you said?
No, it's just an image. Okay. Who knows it's a cover? It's just an image.
I'm just going to leave this up here while we discuss this.
Please.
Now,
yes.
Let me tell. At first, when I saw this, I was like, "Oh my god, what are they doing?" And I felt the same way because what the headline said was Superman is bisexual. That's all the headline said.
He was like, "What? Not a woman."
And when I heard that, when I read that. The first thing I thought was the same shit I said when it was like, we're making a black Clark Kent.
That's right. Yeah.
I was like, I said, shut the front door.
Unnecessary pandering.
Get out of here. This is ridiculous. We don't need this, right?
Ridiculous.
Right? Now, but then you click on this and you see it's John Kent. It's not Clark Kent. They're saying this is John Kent, Superman's son.
Mm-hmm.
Now, half the
how
people
does Superman feel about it?
Half the people,
that's what I'm
sure
know.
Superman accepts it. Like, he's a pretty understanding guy, right? Right?
He's been known to be understanding,
right? And
but how are you going to carry on the bloodline, son?
Mm-hmm.
What if there's an argument?
I mean, he was ready to give up all of the Kryptonians. You saw what he did to Zod. He said the Kryptonians had their time.
Well, here's the whole thing. He's not gay. He's bisexual. So he's still banging chicks too. So he can still have a son or a daughter. Okay.
Now, here's the point. Like I half the people, hold on a second. Let me just get this thought out and then I'm going to go to you guys. So half the people that are upset about this
are
people like half those people have children that are that are a member of the LGBT community, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they're not saying Clark Kent is gay. He has a son. And don't pretend any of you motherfuckers care about John Kent.
Don't.
Like you was wearing John Kent underoos when you was a kid.
So for the record, I watch Superman and Lois and I care about John Kent and I think this is a non-issue. And if there's one criticism I will make is they shouldn't shoehorn this storyline in immediately to the show.
As emo,
but besides that, it's all good.
I've only watched the first episode of the Superman show. As emo as that kid was, I expected.
No, that's not the one. No, John Kent is not that one. It's the other
powers?
One. It's the one without the powers. That's right. On the show.
Both of them come off as bisexual. They both. you know, have an air
the one without the
about
powers is like star football player. He's, you know, and the emo one is
exactly.
the one.
He takes showers with other dudes and slaps each other on the ass. You know,
Could be.
So the point is, I think that this is much to do about
It's
nothing.
a non-issue for sure. For sure. Yeah.
And again, who cares? If they said it was Bruce Wayne or Clark Kent, then I understand the smoke. Here, I don't get it. And let's not pretend that these are kids' books, because the average reader of a comic book is 40 to 50 years old. So let's not pretend this is something to brainwash your kids.
Yep.
Young people don't go to comic book stores.
So that's where I feel about this one. Is it falls in the category of who cares?
AKA, what is it? Nothing burger. I love that saying.
Yes, but here's the problem.
Representation matters. Let them have
it.
Yes,
the problem.
100%.
Yes, and if the problem though is, I don't think why do you think this was done?
That's not
a problem. Problem is the wrong word, but the question is, why do you think this was done?
That's the unfortunate nature of it. It's cheap pandering.
To show we're with the times. We're hip.
But let's be clear though, before anybody jumps in, any of these purists
support us.
Comics have been pandering since their inception
for a long time, indeed. And there's nothing new under the sun, and this is not new either.
Pandering.
Yes, 100%. 100%.
And now there are writers that come in and tell highbrow stories, like when Neil Gaiman was doing comics and Alan Moore and all those things. Not saying that this is not highbrow, because I haven't read it, but my point is, for the most part, that's all comics are doing. They've always done that. It's nothing new. And who cares? Who cares if they're saying,
if y'all gonna support it, if you put it out, they want to see if it's like, okay, y'all jump behind this, we'll give y'all a TV show. And y'all go watch that. Go buy the t-shirts. Go buy the merch. We can make this $1 billion franchise. Let's do it.
And Gerald Mack says there is a universe where a black Superman exists.
Yes,
there is. But is he Clark?
No, he's not.
Okay. And that's the point. They were trying to make Clark Kent black. So the same problem I'd have with a black Clark Kent is the same problem I'd have.
That's right.
If they made a gay Clark Kent. But Clark Kent's son is totally.
There's a black Batman. There's a black Superman.
As the youngins say, keep that same energy.
Right. It is totally within the bounds, as long as they're not saying like. And I know this is not DC. If they try to say, "Oh, Peter Parker was secretly whatever," I'm like, "Come on, right?" That's not what they're doing.
To jump in, that I had brought up in the chat. Somebody gave an interesting fan theory that it would be much more interesting if they made Lex Luthor gay.
Before you finish this, and I want you to say it.
Yeah.
I hope to hell nobody from DC was listening, because I think it's a terrible idea. But go ahead, explain why it's interesting.
Because it would make sense. You never really see Lex Luthor with women anyway. And he hates Superman because he's everything that he is not. And he's a man that he cannot have ever. That's why he hates Superman, because he's gay for him. That shit makes sense.
I don't know about it makes sense, but it's an interesting storyline that could be explored. I would like to see an Elseworld story of that nature.
Watch that,
I don't know.
I would watch that.
I writ large, I'm against the idea.
On the show, Smallville, Lex Luthor on that always came over.
Very much, yes. There was a meta narrative there, for sure. And it lasted many years.
I've always been against the idea of changing established characters, but I've also been pointing the fingers that they don't want to do the work of bringing out new characters. So when you bring out a new character, they can be whatever you want them to be, because there's not a history there. Yep. But when you start doing these kind of changes to existing characters, it's just like it rubs me the wrong way. So make a new character, and it seems like that's what they did. I know John Kent has been a thing for a while, but nobody really cared about John Kent.
Yeah, he made his main stage with the advent of the TV show, so they can kind of reintroduce him now.
You're correct on that. See that Iceman.
That's Courtney.
Oh, well, Courtney. Also, Shatterstar is gay from X-Force.
And Quasar. Don't forget Quasar.
Quasar.
So again, this is not like I don't think this should bother anybody. It's a new character. They're saying,
and for us, it'll be nothing. We don't care. For someone, this might be that Black Panther moment, and that's great. It's all good. I think it's kind of cheapy and pandering, but so did I. So I thought exactly the same thing about Black Panther and still enjoyed it. I'm sure there'll be a contingent of individuals that will see this and go, wow, this is what I wanted to see. And good for you. I think that's wonderful. To me, it's no big deal.
Okay, so any more thoughts on this before we move on to the DC fandom predictions and just wants?
No, move on.
I'm good. I think people need to get out of their agenda heads and just kind of enjoy your comic books, man. Stop all the BS.
Just zooming in.
He's just trying to make his brother uncomfortable now. What's going on?
It don't bother me, bro.
You sure? Really?
Show the picture with them actually kissing.
That's great. Reminds me of that meme,
Okay, I'm done.
Cool, right?
I'm done. All right. Okay, so DC fandom.
That's right.
What are we looking forward to see here? I'm going to start with you because you got the background up. So, Mr. K. Asante, I'm guessing you want to see emo Batman.
No, believe it or not, of all the Batman movies, this is the one that I'm least excited for.
Interesting.
I'm tired of always regurgitating this character. To me,
like
after Nolan did his thing, after Nolan did his thing, this character should have been put to bed for a while and let Nolan's universe stand. Because to me, that was one of the best representations of Batman. Batfleck was okay, but it didn't add anything to the canon. He should have, it wasn't. It shouldn't have been part of. It's not what we should remember now as our last Batman. It should have been the Nolan's Batman.
The DC, like Snyder's DC, was not.
It should have been an Elseworlds story. Yeah. So my excitement for DC fandom is more of. Did you see last year's DC fandom? Did you guys?
Yeah, I watched it in and out. It wasn't.
It was. See, that's the thing. At the time, the pandemic made everyone assume this is going to be the worst thing ever, and we had seen multiple other attempts by different companies, and they failed horribly. DC fandom was way better than it had any right to be. Like, it was damn good. Everyone was excited about it. We saw a lot of really interesting things. It looks like where everyone else had failed, DC actually knocked it out of the park. So now it's on the radar for me because I remember at that time we had watched the virtual version of Comic-Con, and that was a shit show. Everything, even in games, all their virtual this, virtual that, all came to facepalm except DC fandom. And of course, at that time there were a lot of dribs and drabs and potential. You had The Rock coming out, rapper Rock. We'll talk about that one a different time. Coming out, giving a verbal demonstration of what his movie will potentially be, Black Adam. And now you'll probably see a trailer for it. That may be something that we'll see.
That would be crazy if we see.
You know what I'm saying? You'll see something. Yeah, The Flash. You'll probably see something. Yes, that's why I'm all about DC fandom. So there are going to be a lot of heavy hitters. Shazam.
I want to see that little bullshit animated trailer they did for the Black Adam thing. I want to see actual footage.
Well, because that thing they had just started. He actually asked Boss.
Didn't they wrap shooting?
Yeah, they're done now.
Oh, so they should definitely have a trailer.
Yeah, exactly. Like what you saw, that little thing, that was just Boss Logic doing his thing. And Boss Logic, that man is prolific, but there was nothing done at that time. But now they got something to show.
But to be fair, Batman slander aside, that trailer last year that they dropped.
Oh, no joke. I'm there for it. Like, I will watch it. I'm a comic fan.
Watched that trailer like 20 times. Yeah.
See, my problem with it is I don't like the choice of Batman. I just don't. I don't know.
I'm going to disagree with you. I'm going to disagree with you, but I'll let you finish.
Yeah. No, I don't. I'm looking.
You're wrong, and here's why.
I'm looking to be mistaken, and that's fine. If he knocks it out of the park, I will be happy to be wrong because that means more entertainment and enjoyment for me. I honestly think Nolan's vision of it was ideal, and this is almost kind of
I don't know.
aping it a little bit.
That's kind of basic, bro. Like, oh,
Yeah.
Nolan was the best, man.
No, but you know the reason? No.
Nolan,
That's not why I'm saying that. Before he took his shot, how many Batman trilogies have we had? How many Batman movies have we had? Even though DC's full of really interesting characters, let this man rest. You've had many bites at that apple, many, right? And then Nolan gave you one that was actually pretty unique, and people, by and large, really loved it. Let it breathe a while, move on, and then come back later. But okay,
basic,
that's neither here nor there.
Man.
That's the reason why I'm kind of like, But okay, besides that, Pacemaker, the new show, Pacemaker, I suspect we see something.
Peacemaker, not the thing to keep your heart pumping.
Peace. You're right. Peace. You're right. Absolutely. Yes, I'm excited to see what that will look like. We don't know. After that movie, it kind of left a bad taste in my mouth for that character, but I'm hoping I'm wrong.
Okay.
But there's a lot there.
I'm boycotting that show, not because I think it will be bad, but because of how
of what he did
Squad turned out.
I'm
good on that. I'm not supporting that guy.
Oh, what? Because he killed Rick Flag?
Because he killed Rick Flag in such a horrible way, and everybody else he killed just somehow came back. No big deal.
How do you know they won't bring Rick Flag back?
Well,
yeah, we don't know.
And that unless that's the plot of the show, I'm not watching it.
Yep.
They're gonna turn him into the $6 million man.
The whole fact that they showed his heart and his girlfriend, with the whole they probably give him his girl's heart or some shit like that.
Boo.
You never know.
All right. So here's the thing.
They could do anything
about Batman, unless you want to go, because I'm going to go on my the unfortunate stance of defending Batman, which I hate that idea.
Oh wow! I am going to make him defend Batman. This is great. I'm going to clip it out and repost it. I'm sure Cybernaut's going to love this one. There you go. Let's do this.
All right. Here's the thing.
Here we go.
Character Batman, flawed as he is, covert racist, cop ass Batman. Let's take that aside. Right?
There we go. Yes.
But as in terms of a movie, you have Matt Reeves, right? The guy that brought that brought Planet of the Apes back, right?
Yep.
The guy that had a vision that was so clear, succinct, and in line with what Warner Brothers wanted, that they already gave him his own Gotham series based on this movie, right? Now, you may not like this, but this is Robert Pattinson, who everybody thinks Robert Pattinson, and the first thing their mind goes to is what's those vampire movies that were?
Yeah. That's not where my mind goes, but I know what you're talking about.
But what's the name of them?
Twilight.
Twilight. Yeah.
Everybody thinks Twilight, but when I think Robert Pattinson, I think The Lighthouse.
Okay.
I think what's the movie he did with the Safdie brothers? Where he was in New York. Oh, I'm going to tell you right now.
Yeah, I'm actually on IMDb on this page as we speak.
Yeah, just go ahead and look for Robert Pattinson.
Yeah, I'm on IMDb as we speak. Here we go.
Okay.
Yeah, no, but what I think is his last movie, the one that you and I both saw, that we both agree was not his best. Nolan's last movie, not his last movie.
Yeah. I know.
Yeah,
what you're talking about.
That's what I think. And when I see that Robert Pattinson, I think, is that going to be Bruce Wayne?
But you can't do that. That's ridiculous. Like that is that. Like you're thinking him in Tenet. He was playing a larger than life character.
Sure.
He was playing a role. So what I'm talking about is look at him in The King, in the Lighthouse, in High Life. Right?
Sure. Okay. High Life, I'll give you.
These are the things that I see that were the Lost City.
These are the things I didn't see. I saw none of those movies.
Right?
No, I've seen High Life. I've seen Lost City of Z.
Nothing. He was it.
Right. Yeah. So again, these things. Look at him in Rover. Look at him in the Rover.
Yeah, these are a bunch of things I've never heard of.
But because this is what the thing that what people don't understand. People see Twilight, and they forget that he is an actor's actor.
Yeah.
Like he did that Twilight shit at the beginning of his career.
Get that
for
check,
the
buddy.
money, but he is a real.
People only remember the radio
actor,
joints,
right?
They only remember the radio joints. There's a lot more in his repertoire.
Play a Bruce Wayne.
Yes,
that
sure he can.
He can act with a T. With
He
a
refused to bulk up.
I guess my whole
like, I'm
thing
not
is
working out at all.
I'm just tired of them keep biting the same damn apple.
No,
I'm just tired of it. That's all.
I'm going to stop you again.
That's all.
The last Christopher Nolan movie came out in 2013. You don't want him to do another Batman movie? How long you want it to go in
No, but how many DC characters have to keep waiting where they keep remaking?
They're not
Batman
waiting
movies?
on him. How many DC
Making
movies
Batman
have to flop for them to have to keep running back to Batman?
And that's my problem. Don't
Batman
run back to Batman. I guess this is me new IP versus old established. This is where
movies are the things that get Aquaman movies funded. You got to make some money somewhere so that you can get some of those other characters.
And all of that is true, but it still doesn't make me excited to see another Batman movie.
This is a more grounded Batman.
It's crazy that Wonder Woman is the front runner in all of the the Trinity. After that movie, the second one?
Not after that trash 1984.
But still, there's another. There's a third one.
Yeah.
There's no other of the other movies in the universe greenlit.
What are you talking about? Aquaman 2's greenlit.
Yeah, and that also might make a DC fandom appearance.
And Aquaman 1 made more money than Wonder Woman 1. And Aquaman 2 is probably going to make more money than Wonder Woman 2. So if you want to go by that measure, Aquaman's the number one.
Yep. Touche.
Right? Yep. So there's that. But again, I think that it is good that we get away from Snyder's. This is no disrespect to Snyder.
Okay.
It's good that we get away from Snyder's stylized Batman.
Sure.
And we get a more grounded Batman again, where we could tell some interesting stories. And this is the first Batman movie, not even Nolan's Batman movies did this, where they're playing up on him being a detective.
And I'm there for that, for sure.
And that,
for sure,
in and of itself, is interesting. And they have a black Catwoman again.
Yeah, true.
Which is
very interesting.
Oh no, I was gonna say since Eartha Kitt, because I like to. Yeah, but I like to unsee that Holly exist. Movie. Like I had Will Smith come and flash me with the forget thing to forget about that Catwoman movie.
Neuralizer.
Yes.
So you know what? And here's where I'll show my hypocrisy, right? If you want me to get excited about Batman again, give me Batman Beyond.
No, we're not.
I'll be excited about Batman.
That's Batman Beyond is what you would give to Nolan, to Snyder. That's a Snyder movie. Yes.
No, not at all. Not at all. If you've seen all of Batman Beyond, like the show,
the cartoon. I saw the cartoon.
The show and some of the comics, it is ripe for reinvention. That's the future.
And you don't
if they could make it.
That fits Zack Snyder's style.
No, but Zack Snyder, it really the Zack Snyder historically, that Zack Snyder in DC always takes that dark twinge, and that's not necessarily here.
No. It doesn't need to be a dark twinge. I'm just saying,
and that's usually what he does in this world. That's why I'm kind of like maybe not for him, because he takes Superman, he makes him dark. He takes he makes him dark.
Okay, so anyway, that I'm done. I'm done defending Batman. Well, I'm done damage controlling for Batman.
And you know what? And let me continue giving you my reason. What about the Spectre? What about Zatanna? What about, they tried Birds of Prey. That didn't really get you anywhere. There's just so many other potential characters that they can spend some juice on.
Either or. Why does it have to be one or the other?
Well, but that's exactly it. Give me Batman, great, but give me other things too.
It just seems like it's always Batman against the other ones.
No, but it seems that they keep doing that when others are available. Well, how do you know that's what people like? Have they tried something else?
They did. They tried a
people
whole
didn't
DC
know.
universe.
They were convinced that a black superhero wouldn't work until somebody finally let them do Black Panther, and it did something. You don't know until you try, and they haven't tried yet.
That's an amorphous they where you can just put anybody.
You know what I am saying. You know what I am saying, brother man. I am saying that be bold.
Okay, but
try
that
something
has
different.
Nothing to do with a Batman movie. So don't say you're tired of seeing
They're
this because
they're
of that.
continuing the
You are
same
Mr.
tradition.
Whataboutisms tonight, man. What's
No.
going on here?
They're continuing the same tradition, and I'm just not about it. I'm tired of that same.
All right, I don't
old
want you
tradition.
watching this movie. That's what I don't want.
You don't want me watching
That's
this movie.
it.
I will be
You are
there
not
watching
allowed.
this movie. I will watch this movie, and if it's good, I will be happy to be.
And you'll
wrong.
pretend like you never said any of this. Now,
Oh no, bro! It is on record. I can say what I want.
It is on record.
Glad, I'm glad that it's on record. And if I'm wrong, I'm happy to be so. I'm just tired of the regurgitation. That's all I'm saying.
This is not okay. Sure. Now,
if I see a rose on Murder Street or whatever the fuck they put on Murder Avenue again, I will be very angry. If I see pearls getting pulled, if I see, oh, I'm scared, and they leave the damn theater, like, come on, man. How many times we have to see this shit?
I think you should have a little bit more, put a little bit more respect on Matt Reeves' name. But anyway, it is
this
getting
man
late.
defended.
So
Batman.
I want to move on to the other big thing that I'm looking forward to at DC Fandom is the video game reveals. We should see Gotham Knights and Suicide Squad because it's been a year.
Yes.
And hopefully we'll see gameplay on Suicide Squad.
Yep, that's another reason I'm excited.
Very interesting to see Rocksteady's take on a service-based game. Right? Can they do better than what Avengers did? And that
low bar.
I mean, the story was good. So so if they can, that will be great. So we'll see, but those are the things. I want to see this Batman trailer. I want to see the Suicide Squad game and more of the Gotham Knights game because I can't wait to get those. And if there's actually a Black Adam trailer, or maybe we'll see the return of Henry Cavill somewhere.
I hope so. Because I still think that it is
last year they brought him back to announce the Snyder the Snyder cut, right?
Yeah, but they didn't bring him back. Snyder, he's a Snyder guy, so he kind of, he was there for his boy.
I hear you.
I don't know about the DC proper. I don't know about that, But I hope so.
So okay, can we do some midnight mass talk? Courtney's asking us.
I mean, we can.
We've all seen it now.
Yes, but go ahead. You start.
Okay. I think Mike Flanagan is a national treasure. I think every one of his I actually think Haunting on Hill House was better than Haunting at Bly Manor. But Bly Manor was still very, very interesting. And then this is his best work to date. You want to talk about character development. You want to talk about foreboding feeling. You want to talk about emotional arcs. You want to talk about mystery. Everything is there. Everything, including that raggedy bitch, the nun, whatever her name was. I'm so glad she's dead. Digging into the sand like she was going to hide from the sun. Yes, she deserved to die, and I hope she burns in hell.
All I will say about this is it is like this is a special something that a feather in Netflix's cap, right? People keep trying to push them down and say, oh, it's fodder. This and a few other things is what they can hold up as look at us. This doesn't have to be a race to the bottom. We can still create that high quality content.
Listen,
yes.
Everybody in there, the dude who played the priest, amazing. You saw when he was doing the AA meeting where he was not the AA meeting. This is after he turned the dude who you thought was the main character into the vampire, and when he was trying to explain to him what he was trying to do, like that. When you want to talk about acting, like. That
I remember when I hadn't watched it yet, and he was like I don't trust the preacher guy.
Oh yeah.
It was a good show. I thoroughly enjoyed it.
No, it was great and and perfect. It was horror, but they didn't rely on the silence followed by loud noise horror. It was it wasn't real.
Cheap. It wasn't
right?
cheap thrills. This was very true.
Everything, all the kills were like even You know how bad I felt for the alcoholic dude who shot the girl by mistake.
That was the only person that the preacher killed. Only him.
Yeah, but no, he went. But that was so crazy. He went to the priest because he was gonna like go and kind of backslide and drink and break his sober.
But the preacher wasn't even drinking alcohol; he's drinking blood.
No, I know, but he went there and just to like confide in him, so he wouldn't
backslide.
Go. Yeah, and then that ended up killing him. And by the way, the girl, and I hate that I feel this way because it was a black queen, but a half black queen.
I mean, but mulatto.
But
you gotta put that qualifier in there.
The way that she cursed him out about how much she hated
that
him.
was a great acting performance by her. I feel like
no. It was, but at the same time, she's only forgiving him because she could walk, and so
but she's also because she's a Christian.
Yeah, but she didn't forgive him when it hurt. She only did it when it was convenient. After she could walk now. That's a hollow thing. And my point
that's not very Christian.
He shot you.
She's a child, though.
She's a child.
You.
I know, but he shot you by mistake.
She's allowed to feel her feelings, Steve.
She should feel all those feelings.
And she hasn't been able to walk for years because of this man, this drunk man. And it wasn't if unless she drank the blood of a vampire, what she thought was the blood of the lamb, and she believed that she was healed, So she was in a forgiving mood. I feel like it was justified, her speech.
I don't. But what I'm saying is I feel like
but she forgave him.
The way she told him how much she hated him and wished all those stuff would happen and all of that.
Because that's the way she felt for years.
I know, but like...
But you would forgive too. If you were in that situation and this is like, if you believed in God and forgiveness, you would forgive too. And you would have felt the same way. I would have hated that motherfucker too. Because you know how much he took away from her that she can't get back till she said that I could never get those back. Even though she can walk now, I would. You don't know the things that I've missed that I could never get back. And that was some real shit. Life experiences and years, even if she could walk now, it doesn't matter. She could never get those experiences back.
To Courtney's comment, there's Bible quotes to justify slavery. So
even
if you want to.
At the end, when she was just like, I can't feel my legs.
Yeah, I bet you she retracted her apology after.
He's like, he dead. It doesn't matter now. He already dead.
Yeah. All I'm saying is he was suffering enough for a mistake, and I know it sucks, but damn, I felt bad.
My only inclusion to this whole thing is after this. Yeah. I was ready for more vampire movies, shows, games. Give me more vampires.
Yeah, less zombies, more vampires.
Let zombies go for a while. Enough of the zombies.
Werewolves.
That too.
I'll take a werewolf.
We don't get enough werewolf stuff.
True. Lichens.
Since Underworld.
Not since that. That's right. And I really liked that too.
You mean since Leather Pants?
Underworld.
Yeah. Since the Blade era.
Yeah, that was all the
Blade influence.
The latex clothing and stuff.
Matrix
inspired. Yeah, man. And then so hold on. I felt bad for Sharif, and I thought fun fact, I thought everybody was being racist when they called him Sharif, but his name, because they should have been calling him Sheriff, and they were doing a racist play on Sheriff. But
that's what I thought too.
Sharif.
I thought that too, like the drunk guy Sharif.
I was like, this son
like you racist son of a bitch.
You clutched your pearls for no reason.
I did. No,
I was offended on his behalf.
I did not feel bad for the Muslim family. I felt bad for the father. That son of a bitch should have burned right next to that raggedy bitch son.
You got me killed. Like you brought me in there for all this bullshit, mother effer. They could have been safe.
First episode, he's like, F my dad. You want to hear me say that? And I'm like, F you too, little ninja.
Because he want to be white. He want to be accepted by the white folk. So he's like, I'm going to disavow my God and my religion and fuck my dad. And like, come here, dad, so you can be saved by these miracles too. And now you got everybody killed, you dummy. Your dad had guns. Y'all could have been safe in the freaking station house where he got more guns and more ammunition. But no.
So do you think we see this show pop up during award season? Like for sure?
It has to.
And what happens if it doesn't?
Did you enjoy it better than True Blood?
Yes.
Ooh. In the beginning, True Blood was special. It did fell off.
But
it was, and then it fell off.
True Blood was never. True Blood
Yeah.
was, even when it was in its heyday, it was never as highbrow as this. This is highbrow.
I have a bias. I have a bias for True Blood though. When True Blood was at its height, that's when I went to Comic-Con, California Comic-Con for the first time, and they had literally no, it wasn't even its height. It was when it was starting, and every single restaurant in that place was selling True Blood, and we didn't know what the hell it was. Oh, you have to buy this True Blood drink. It's great. Their marketing, everything was absolutely unparalleled. So it kind of has a warm place in my heart, but it did fall off.
It was one of my favorite shows.
Mass shits all over True Blood.
It fell off. It fell off.
All right,
it did.
So even at its height, Midnight Mass shits all over. But anyway, so I thought it was great. I thought the son of the sheriff was a son of a bitch. I thought the nun, I couldn't wait for her to die. I never trusted the priest. I don't know, man. It was good, man. It was the right. This is that man understands the genre.
The sheriff was my favorite character in the whole show. Fuck everybody else.
Oh, did you know that the pregnant woman who lost her baby in the show, the one who cut the wings of the vampire?
Yeah.
Did you know that that's Mike Flanagan's wife?
Who's Mike Flanagan?
He is the creator, writer, and director of every episode and the showrunner.
Oh, isn't that convenient?
So every episode was written and directed by him.
Yeah, so you put your wife in that.
But that
happy
doesn't
wife, happy life.
But here's the thing: she's been in all three of the shows that he's done.
Happy wife, happy life.
So no,
same
it's like
thing with Mila Jovovich and her husband.
I was just about to call that out.
Except better than Mike Flanagan's stuff is good.
It's good.
Don't you talk shit about Mila Jovovich?
No, you're not. You're not joking because it's true. Stop.
I'm a fan forever. She took time to talk to me. She always got my support.
Oh yeah, she signed something for you.
Yeah, she took a picture with me. She shouted me out on Twitter.
Did you see the new Abercrombie and Fitch Resident Evil cast?
Yeah, I'm disappointed, bro. I'm disappointed. It's not good, bro. It's not good. It's a little too. It's very bad. Like very.
Okay,
bad.
but let me ask you guys a question. I want to move on from Midnight Mass because it wasn't really a part of the thing. However, did we do who? I know we think that the raggedy bitch nun. I gotta remember her name. But no, I don't. I'm glad she's dead. But we think she killed the dog, right? Even though we didn't see her do it.
She super killed the dog with the poison.
Okay. Now, who killed the priest the first time? Because he was spitting up like he had the same poison as the dog. Did.
Yeah, so then they telegraphed that. If we're pretty sure he killed the dog, she killed the dog, and they
why
showed
did she kill him? She didn't know what he was yet. She didn't know who he was yet. How would she know to kill him?
She was just trying to kill him.
Yeah, I mean, why she killed the dog?
Because she wanted their regular priest back. But once she found out he was him, then she switched up.
All right, Courtney, what's your theory on this? Did she kill the priest the first time?
When he died there and spit up all the blood, I feel like she poisoned him because they showed her putting the poison back again. So, or was that her filling up the cyanide? I mean, the poison for everybody to take for communion?
Because he had too much of the blood, so he died. That doesn't make sense.
No,
that doesn't make sense, Courtney. What are you talking about? What
are you talking about?
Explain, Lucy.
What you talking about, Willis? Come on, man.
That doesn't make sense. Okay, so I that was interesting to me because like I don't put it past her trying to kill him, but why? He says no. Too much of the vampire caused him to die.
Doesn't that turn them instead of kill them?
He just has to drink blood and he's fine. He could have freaking like how the freaking thing went in there and killed all the cats. He could have did the same shit.
And then why didn't that happen to the old lady who was his girlfriend? Which I do feel like they tacked that on in the end, like, oh, the doctor, oh, that's our daughter. That felt like kind of added, like, I'm like, what? How does this serve us any purpose? It
No,
didn't
they
make
didn't
sense.
really tack that on because like the old woman because I could tell she was young because she just looked like
Yeah,
she
you could
had
tell
on
in
old
the
woman
makeup in her
makeup.
face. Yeah.
So they, it's like, oh, we're going to do this so we could de-age her. But that was always the plan for that to be the reveal at the end because they were the two old people. Even him, when they showed him old, he had on old man makeup. So, that was always going to be the thing to reveal, even if it felt forced.
Which it kind of did.
Because the whole fact that they showed both of them in the prosthetic makeup, it was always to reveal that like they had a love that couldn't be. And why he kept giving her communion was to bring her back so she could remember again because she had the Alzheimer's and whatever.
Okay.
But he wanted them to live together and, so that they could be a family now. He wanted to give them a second chance.
They should have just they should have had some scenes with him whispering sweet nothings in her ear like before she was lucid. And that
they just revealed it on the last episode, but they should have sowed them seeds.
That's what I'm saying.
So right? It wouldn't have been like it would have felt so forced.
They fired a gun in Act 3 that they didn't show us in Act 1. They didn't show,
yeah. It wasn't earned. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, so and look that and that's my only gripe with the show. And I can live with that. Too much vampire blood would kill you. He was finishing the communion after everyone. So okay, sure. I'll allow it. All right. Same way the blood killed the pregnant woman's baby. I mean, that was
the blood heals. I don't think so. I don't think he was drinking too much. He only was drinking it when he needed blood because he felt like he was going to kill somebody. So I don't feel like
that was after he died. Yeah. Right. That was that. You know what I mean? So I don't know. So that remains to be seen. But listen, 9 out of 10 for that show. I cannot wait. Mike Flanagan is the guy to look for. He is my new favorite showrunner, and any idea he comes with, I'm there for it day one. Now, I want to move on to the final topic of
There's still more?
the show. Yeah, we're going to talk about me.
There you go.
Speak
on it, man.
All right. Everborn at NYCC. I want to talk about this experience for a little bit, if you guys will allow me to.
I'm not jealous at all. Next time, baby. Let's go ahead.
Hey, next time. Next time, maybe I'll make it to San Diego.
Hey, I'll be with you. It was fun when I went. It was
okay.
Great.
So all right. It was 4 days, right? Each day was 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. except for Sunday. Sunday was 10 to 5. I did the setup early. Everybody had to be vaccinated. I had no idea what to expect when I got
there. Did the vaccination thing change the numbers in your opinion? I'm sorry. Continue your conversation, but I just want to know that.
Fun fact, this is the largest gathering since the pandemic started in New York, in all of New York.
Okay. So even if even if it wasn't the number that it historically was, it was still considered a success.
Yeah, and I don't know how to gauge it, right? Because I was behind the thing. Like, I don't even know who else was there. Like, I went to go see some of my
did you ever walk the show floor or anything?
No, but I did go see some of my favorite creators and dropped off copies of my books, because it's nice to see somebody you bought a book from a few years ago say, you inspired me, here's my book.
Here's my book.
I did that with like 3 or 4 people. And I did a panel, by the way, which I need to get pictures of. So not only was this my first Comic-Con as a vendor, but I also did a panel on the BSP app. That's Black Sands Publishing. It's basically it's all Black owned, ran by Manuel Godoy, the owner and creator of Black Sands. He is basically creating a Black owned competitor to Webtoons.
Nice.
And Everborn, the first 3 chapters of Prince of Arcadia are featured on there as one of the featured apps. And there's a couple of thousand views on the series. So that's a good thing. But I got, and it was really about ownership and what it takes to kind of break into the whole comic business and telling stories with people who look like us. Because if you keep waiting for the white man to tell your stories, they're never going to tell it properly.
They'll just keep telling Batman stories over and over again.
There we go. Hey, look at you. Now you're on my train. Now,
who is me?
so somebody's got to slander Batman. It's a hard job. Somebody's got to do it. So, I did the panel, I did the show. The biggest thing here was, and I sold a couple of hundred books, which is
Nice.
amazing.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah. I saw a lot of cool pictures of people coming out and showing love. It was real cool.
I didn't get to take a picture with everybody, but I tried as much as I could because sometimes it was too crowded to get a picture with everybody. I tried because I appreciated everybody who came by and listened to the pitch. Now, this is the most important thing. I learned how to pitch the series, and I learned in trial by fire, right? This was like in one of the largest shows, comic conventions, just at least in America. And this is where I tried to hone the pitch, which I still think is too long because I found people lining up while I was doing it. And then when it's their turn, they kind of want you to give them the pitch again. So I'd start.
The eyes are glazing over.
Right. They're not glazing over, but like some people don't have a lot of time, right? Some guys stop me. He's like, look, I'm buying a book. Stop. I don't want to hear anymore. Right. Yep. And I had to learn how to do that. The lady came and she helped me out on Saturday, and the girls came and they helped. They were just there to walk the show floor, but they did come and sit with me, sit with the old man for a little bit. And I had them wearing Everborn shirts and directing people back to the booth.
Nice.
And hopefully I don't get hit with any child labor laws for that. Right.
It's a family affair. Come on now.
So
you eat, we eat.
Right. And so no, it was really good. And we had like 3 books there for sale. And I was just like pitching both series, taking pictures, made a lot of connects, even people that might get me further along with the game to finally get this thing out.
Nice, very cool.
And I think I know how to talk about the book now, which weirdly enough, I wrote the damn things. And I'm so terrible at talking about myself that I just didn't know how to talk about this thing that I created. And I feel like I learned how to do it. And that's a big deal. So,
Tampa's not too far away, bro. You could always try another bite at that apple. We'll be happy to have you here.
No, it's coming. I'm gonna try to do it. See if the registration is not too late. The only problem with Tampa is this was able to work, even though I didn't like turn a profit when you consider all the product that I still have left that I didn't sell. But you really can't calculate the cost like that. You have to say cost to sell, meaning how much each book cost me. And then you amortize the cost of all the signage because you'll get to use that at your next show. All the giveaways that I had. And I had this model where I said, I bought these 1,000 posters, right? And I was selling them for $10 each, right? Really nice posters, 18 by 24 inches. And I was selling them for $10, but what I did was I said, if you buy more than one book, I'm going to give you this poster for free. Right. And now I had to buy 1,000 posters to get the bulk rate, but the bulk rate was very good to where that didn't really hurt my pocket. Cool. So the posters were really there as a giveaway. A few people bought them, but I'm like, you're better off buying another book. But they were like, no, I just want the poster. So, so I was able to basically say, here's one book. You could start with Prince of Arcadia, the hardcover, or Ariel's Adventure. And then if you get another book, I'm going to give you a free poster. And if you get all 3 books, I'm going to give you a $10 discount, which is effectively free Ariel's Adventure because the other 2 books were $25. So basically, I'm selling this $50 bundle that is all the 2 Ultimate Editions plus Ariel's Adventure and the poster, and that worked out. That was the #1 seller for the whole weekend. And I got, like I said, meeting people from Twitter and people.
Yeah, I thought I saw. Let's see, Mr. Joanna Dark
was there. Mr. Joanna Dark.
Yeah, he said he came out there. That's real cool, man. That's
Alcos,
real cool. That's awesome.
You know who Alcos is.
I think I've seen him. Yeah.
Yeah, so all those guys came out to see me, and then other people. And I actually bumped into my mortgage broker there, believe it or not.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
that's real cool. I like that. Yeah.
So, and then one guy who didn't get because he never filled out his survey, he didn't get his stuff from the Kickstarter, I was like, I can give it to you right now.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. So
that's great.
Yeah, no, but like amazing experience. And I didn't get to see anything that was going on because it was so busy, and I lost my voice like 3 times. I had to go there with like honey and lemon to deal with things. So I learned a lot. I learned also
funny thing at that time, I was doing the whole honey lemon thing too, but for different reasons.
So it was 4 days. It was amazing, and like I'm still trying to get over the con flu because I've been tired and under the weather, so I haven't slept much. But and just bringing all the boxes back was another headache. That's another thing you learn over doing this for a few years, how much to bring to any given convention. So luckily for now, I live in New York, so these conventions will be easy. I want to get into the Schaumburg. I hear that's really good, but I'm trying to get to a place where we're doing a show a month.
Okay.
But I got to tell you,
and they're all over the place too, so you can make that happen. You may have to get like a van or something and put it in.
I want you to understand that like this is nearly a decade. Like I started developing the first game in 2012, right? And that released in 2015. And all of this comic stuff spawned from the sequel to that game. And I started the comics journey in 2017, and we didn't release the first book until 2019, right? But 2019 till 2021, or 2017 really till 2021, 4 years later, and we're just getting to Comic-Con. I knew this was going to be a long road, and like when you hit these milestones doing your first convention, I cannot tell you enough how humbled and crazy this feels. So that's awesome, only the beginning. We made a couple thousand, like not enough to cover all the costs, but that's fine. It's not about money right now. It's fan acquisition. You're going to see me on a lot of shows, and we're going to do the next Kickstarter November 1st. So big things happening.
Big things are going on 2004.
Yes. So that is really all that I want to say about this for now. We'll talk about the Kickstarter next week or maybe on Saturday. And that's it, man. So we're gonna get out of here now.
Bro. Somebody got to start the slow clap, man.
Yeah, man. Yeah, for sure. Congratulations. We are all very proud, for sure. Like, no joke. Yeah, for real.
No funny
yourself, man.
No funny business with my characters. But anyway, we're not gonna do any kisses on the covers.
Hey now, you don't know, there's a long story tradition of pandering. Story history of pandering.
That's not the story I'm telling. But anyway, Everborn is for the children.
Kissing Riley on some bestiality.
So is Wu-Tang. We know how that. All
right. Anyway, Mr. K. Asante, tell them where they can find you, sir.
So I'll tell you what I'm watching first. I'll tell you what I will be watching. Halloween Kills. For those who don't know, it's on Peacock. If you don't want to go watch it, if you don't want to watch it in the theaters, I want to watch that. So you might hear me talk about that next week. But yes, you can find me TKO Asante Twitter, all your game console platforms and whatnot. And you can also find me on PTG, the Primetime Gaming with the Everborn Saga himself as well. And that is on Monday nights. That's when we get down at 7 p.m. You can find me, of course, on Saturdays when we're doing the Gaming Circle podcast. No game magazine. And I will say right now, I will first off, I would say I will give a shout out to a community member, Wandering Dutch, who actually hooked me up with some opening credit stuff that I will be debuting on Saturday. So I'm really excited. I'm going to keep on singing his praise, and I appreciate anybody who comes out Saturday and checks us out. We're still working the logistics of Saturday's show, but it might be interesting. Sega Talk possibly, but yes. How about you, good sir?
All right. Because my SEO is intact and on point, I am Everborn Saga everywhere. Everborn Saga on YouTube, Everborn Saga on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. Everborn Saga on PlayStation, Xbox, and Steam. And most importantly, everbornsaga.com, where you can get all of these books and all this goodness that we have on offer. And I might be doing a sale on t-shirts because we didn't sell as many as we wanted to at the convention. So look out for that soon. And we are launching Prince of Arcadia Ultimate Edition, Book 2, which includes chapters 3 and 4. Fuck Snapchat.
No,
I'm on TikTok.
He's
That's
on
an
TikTok.
ongoing.
That's right.
Yeah, that's an ongoing
running
joke
gag.
from the old On the Real. Courtney remembers. But
Pepperidge Farm remembers.
Yes, Pepperidge Farm does remember. But yeah, we are launching. Do not forget. I need everybody to understand this. We are launching the second Kickstarter for the Redlands with an entirely black cast. I just had to pander out there. There you go.
There you go.
It's not pandering if I'm black.
Before you end the show, because you didn't ask me our particulars, you just jumped to him or whatever because you usually go last. But LeVar F. Johnson on all platforms, on your YouTubes, on your Facebooks, on your
and
Instagrams, on your Twitter.
He doesn't use.
Also, but you can check me out on Instagram at where he get them wonderful toys with slashes in between. One of these days we'll have a graphic.
Slashes, you mean underscores? But
underscores, yeah, all of that stuff. But just you can find me. Yeah.
One day, hopefully, we'll find them on YouTube.
Put the link in the chat if you're watching on YouTube so they can see it.
Right.
But anyway, so we're launching the Kickstarter on November 1st, and Prince of Arcadia Ultimate Edition Book 2 is coming out. And this is, even if you have Chapter 3, you still want this because it's completely remastered, recolored, everything. It looks amazing. We got this new colorist, Albert De La Cruz. He is amazing, and he's the one that is coloring the Redlands. You are going to be so surprised. It's 122 pages. It will be out momentarily because I promised it was coming out today. Actually, I promised it was coming out yesterday, but it's been hectic. But we will have the listing up on the store, and we have the books available now, so we will ship everything out in the same day. But Everborn Saga everywhere, and look out for the Kickstarter official announcement coming hopefully this week, but the Kickstarter goes live on November 1st. Thank you, everybody, for watching. We are back. We will be here next week. I didn't think I had the energy for this show, but look at this. We are 2 hours and 11 minutes into it, and now we are getting out of here. And until the next time, stay classy. And I'm glad that bitch from Midnight Mass died begging for her life. Raggedy bitch. Anyway, we out of here.